What's up, guys? It's your girl Phoenix Novell. Thank you for tuning into another Musicians on Gigs episode. And this episode is called 5 Questions to Ask Before Accepting a Gig.
Okay. I like to desensitize, but this girl's got you on her mind. Something about your walk, talk, smile so bright, kinda something like my kryptonite. I'm not easy, believe me, but I know what I want. It's special, gotta let you know. So let's have some fun. You're staring and I'm daring. I'm so ready to go. Bring your body real close to me. Whole lot of romance. What's your fantasy? You and me tonight. Let's let me trace you and me tonight. What makes you and me tonight, baby?
This is for you guys out there who have a gig offer from a client or your agent or somebody who's booking you, and they're basically like, here, are you interested? Before you just say yes and jump on the bandwagon, there are some things that I think you need to ask. And I really hope you take these questions to heart, and I really hope you get a notepad and a pen and make some notes. So I will be looking down at my notes right here. So if you see my eyes kind of shooting back and forth, that's what's happening. Don't think I'm looking at my phone or something like that. All right, so let's get into it. In my book, I think I have it in the Traveling Singer Survival Guide, as well as International Artistry Playbook. I have an acronym called CARL, and it stands for Contract, Aim, Reputation, and Logistics. All right, let me just make sure. I know that's right, but I want to make sure. And what is so dope about this acronym is that it's pretty much all you need to focus on when it comes to getting them to when it comes to dealing with these agents. Sorry, my window's open. When it comes to dealing, like getting all the information that you need from them in terms of the business. All right. Contract. It's going to tell you exactly what the terms are. All right. What the terms are, how long the contract is going to be. It's going to tell you about the visa situation if you need to go international. It's going to tell you about the pay. It's going to tell you about the food, the living situation. It's going to give you everything that you need in terms of figuring out if you are up to par with what they are asking from you. All right. On a business transactional kind of level. All right. It gives you all the details. It lets you know the kind of should let you know the kind of currency you're going to be paid in. Should let you know the days of the week that you're off. How many sets you expected to do on stage. And all the details, all the fine print is going to be in that contract, and that's why you want that contract. That's number one. Contract, get it in writing so that you know exactly what's expected and so that you know what to expect from them as well. All right, contract protects you. Not just know, hey, yeah, I'm free, I can do the gig, no problem, I'll show up. That's not how that works. You get a contract so that you have a source of information tangible, so that things don't change up later on your part or theirs. And if there's any questions, you have something to look at. To be like, all right, here, this is a problem. Or you can send it to your lawyer. Say, okay, I don't agree with this, or blah, blah, blah. You need something in writing. All right. The aim. Now, this is for you as well as them. The aim is about what it is that you are trying to accomplish. If your aim is in alignment with what they're asking you to do, then take the gig. Then this is the check mark. If your aim is to really focus on DJing or being a performer on a cruise ship, and this gig is completely not that, or you want to be a jazz singer and this gig is looking for hip hop artists to perform at at a casino or something completely different than what it is that you want, then you have to put a minus next to that. You have to make sure that your aim is in alignment with what their aim is. Otherwise, look, if you're just looking for experience right now, maybe so. But sometimes you can take a gig and you're not really gonna excel there because it's not really your cup of tea, and maybe they won't like you because you're not really somebody who's in love with that kind of line of work. So look at your aim, look at their aim, and see if they're in alignment, or at least 80 to 90% in alignment. Then you had the R in Carl, reputation. Their reputation. Ask questions about their reputation. Look them up. And if you have a network of friends and people who are currently in the business, don't be afraid to ask them, hey, have you ever heard of this company? Have you ever worked for this company? What do you think of them? And collect as much data and do as much due diligence as you need to do, because this is not the time to just say, oh, this person sounds nice, they seem really interested in me. Because once you sign on the dotted line and you get over there, it'll be a little bit harder for you to walk away. You put your life on hold, they paid all this money, and certain people start feeling obligations to get something or give something more than they really feel comfortable giving or getting. Okay? So their reputation is important, and take it into heart, whatever it is. Don't just sit there and assume, they seem legit. Take anybody and everybody, who has something to say or experience with that company. Find out as much as you can. And the last letter in Carl is logistics. All the details, like they should be lined out in the contract, but the logistics are everything. Am I living in a house with other artists, right? Am I paying for my transportation to get to the venue? Am I expected to pay for utilities? Am I living in a hotel? How many meals am I going to be eating? Do I need to get any shots? Is the vaccine mandatory? Will there be medical checks when I get there? Will I have insurance? Will you pay for it for me? All of the details. Ask. Don't, because you'll be mad at what you didn't ask. Not that you asked too many questions. Okay? All right, so that's the acronym Carl. Now, the next thing is to find out about your team or your band. If you're performing with other musicians, find out who. Will there be a piano player? Will there be a bass player? Will there be a drummer? How many pieces am I working with? Will there be other singers, or is it just going to be me? Or other musicians or other rappers? How many people are in this band, so that I can gauge if I can do this show by myself, for this amount of money? So I can figure out if I can actually carry this show, or if I'll have help to do my backgrounds. Find out who you're working with, all right? Because it helps you in the long run, so that you know best if this is a gig for you. The next thing is to ask if you can connect with artists that are already on the gig, or artists that were performing at the gig. Ask them if they're okay with letting you talk to them. If you already know somebody who's on a gig, all the better. But sometimes you have no idea. And so ask them just to see if they're comfortable with putting you in contact with people, so that you can get a good reference of the way things are right now. That's important, not just their word of mouth, because they're going to sell it to you like they selling the last bottle of water. They're going to make you feel like you need this in your life. Maybe that was a bad example, because of course you need water in your life. But anyway, they're going to make you feel like they got what you need. And your job is to get as close to reality as possible. And the artists, the ones who were there before or the ones there now, they have no reason to lie to you. Generally speaking, more often than not, they have no problem sharing their experiences, especially the bad ones. They're like, yeah, girl, let me tell you. So find out what you need to know from the artists who did the gig before you or about to do the gig. And the next one is ask for recent pictures and videos of the living quarters, as well as where you will be residing. Current, clear, crystal clear, clean, good quality pictures and videos of where you will be performing so that you can gauge how the venue is set up, how close you are to the customers, mic quality, speakers, systems, and where you'll be expected to live. Because if you just focusing on that money, you just focusing on how nice the gig is, and you're not thinking for a second about your living quarters, you might be in for a rude awakening. And don't think for a second that you won't want to leave the gig early because you didn't inquire about the living conditions. And the last thing is to find out exactly what they expect from artists. This is different from the logistics, because they will tell you on paper your job is to perform 3-4 sets a night for 45 minutes each for this amount of time, 6 nights a week. But they might not always tell you that you're also expected to socialize with the customers, or help them with marketing and advertisement, or spend some money every once in a while on costumes for theme parties, or do photo shoots and promo work for the venue. They might not always put that out there. They might, encourage that or kind of push that on you when you get to the gig, and you may or may not be down with it. But it's the more information you know up front, the better for everybody, because again, you can gauge what's expected of you, and you don't have to get there and be like, damn, I didn't think that I had to do that. So these are my 5 tips and questions to ask, or information to get to know before you accept a gig. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any comments, questions, or topic ideas, send me an email at musiciansongigs@gmail.com. Thanks again, guys, and tune in for the next video soon.